This is my favorite part of the podcast. Thanks for hanging out. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, then you are a new creation. Hello, hello, hello. We are back. And now I'm going to fade over to here. There we go. Because I just want to get the whole screen for you here. If you guys are just clicking on this thing and you said, what is this new creation right here? Well, this new creation that you just clicked on is the third section of a podcast we do every single day called Christ in Crypto in the Morning. We're here Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. I am your host, Christian Israel, and this is the place where we discuss what goes on financially around the world, politically around the world, prophetically towards the Bible around the world, and we do all that with Christ at the show's center. So the first section is news. The first section is technical analysis, looking at charts. The second section is news, and to finish out the Trinity, everything works in three. We bring the word to you. And I read something this morning that caught my attention, and I'm going to read it to you. And it's, every day I'm on this channel, when I'm in this section, it's just I'm really talking to myself and explaining it to you. And this is how I explain to myself, because I am, I'm selling the house. We're moving. We thought we'd like Dallas. And to be honest, I love Chicago. I lived a lot in Chicago. And the city just got dangerous in general. But I love the city of Chicago. I just don't like the politics of Illinois. So I come to Dallas thinking it'd be a smaller version and maybe love the city. I'm not a fan of the city at all. I'm not a fan of just in general what I thought the Lord was calling me to do in Dallas. I found a wonderful church. I'm a part of Social Dallas. I'm on the production team. I love it. It's growing. It's one of the fastest growing churches in the world. Great pastor. Great worship team. Great people. That's the only thing I like about the city is my church. And so I thought I was here. And so I've been fighting and fighting and fighting. Fighting and fighting and fighting. Did I bring up the wrong one? Yeah, that's James. I meant to bring up James. Here we go. Fighting and fighting and fighting in my mind. And I just became angry and bitter. Like, what is going on? Like, I thought you called me to come to Texas. I'm in Texas. I chose Dallas. I love my church. But outside of that, I'm not happy with the city. I don't like the driving. I really don't, right? I'm in a more peaceful state of mind. And I feel like Dallas itself is in a mentally aggressive state of mind. And then I was just yesterday, me and the wife were just talking. We made our decision and just she wrote me a nice long message that I needed. And then I read this morning. And it says, anger and bitterness are two noticeable signs of being focused on self and not trusting God's sovereignty in your life. When you believe that God causes all things to work together for good to those who belong to Him and love Him, you can respond to trials with joy instead of anger and bitterness. Now that sounds good. And it's true. Very true. I'm like, oh, I read that. I'm like, really? Really? Come on. I spent a lot of time yesterday. Him and I had a fight. Because I'm like, I just love my house. I know my daughter doesn't want to uproot and move again. We talked about it this morning when I took her to the bus and we sat and I said, how do you feel about us moving? And she just, I said, I know. But we're making a decision long term. This is a long-term decision in the short term. And when you make two decisions and you uproot your family twice in under a year, it's really what I've done. I got angry yesterday at the Lord. I was mad at Him. Very angry because I'm like, this makes no sense. Don't like, the house that we thought was ours. The house that we thought, we bought it, we own it, right? But there's so many things wrong with it, right? We bought a house that they covered up, the inspectors covered up a lot of stuff. The people sold it, it was sold to us. And as much as we spent on this house, there's now so much work to do, and we are just not happy. We became a little bitter. So we decided yesterday to make that decision. And then I read this morning. Anger and bitterness are two noticeable signs of focusing on self. We're like, dang it, into me, I'm like, man, that's what that means. Is I'm focusing on me and what's wrong with me and what's bothering me. All these trials, and my wife told me, she said, I love to make people happy and do positive things, and so do you. When you walk into a room, you light a room up. You think the devil is going to allow us to be successful? Going to try to push us and fight us and break us down at every turn? And that's what it felt like in Dallas. At every turn, it's just being attacked by the enemy. Trials. And I'm like, man, what is going on? So we made that decision yesterday, and then I read that, and I'm like, all right, focus on God's sovereignty in my life. Well, we're just moving. We're going to take a shot. We're going to take a chance and say, all right, we're going to move somewhere that this seems to be it. Get out of the comfortability, go in the middle of somewhere else, which we're excited about, but really see if that's where I'm supposed to be, because I really wanted to build a church, right? I really want to do things for the Lord, and I feel like maybe in Dallas I can't do those things. Oversaturation. So maybe we go somewhere, right? We're going to sell the house, which is nice, and we're actually going to make money back on that house, and then we can actually buy another house for cheaper than when we bought this house, that's also going to be bigger and nicer, right? And in a better spot. So it's already working itself out. But when I read here that anger and bitterness are two noticeable signs of being focused on self and not trusting God's sovereignty in your life, that wanted me to bring us to these scriptures. And this is one of my favorite scriptures, to be honest, in James. And it's James 1:12-19. And it goes like this. Blessed is the man who remains steadfast under trial. For when he has stood the test, he will receive the crown of life, which God has promised to those who love him. Let no one, when he is tempted, say, I am being tempted by God. For God cannot be tempted with evil. He himself tempts no one. But each person is tempted when he is lured and enticed by his own desires. Then desire, when it conceives, gives birth to sin. And sin, when it is fully grown, brings forth death. Don't be deceived, my beloved brothers, for every good gift and every perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of lights, of whom there is no variation or shadow due to change. Of his own will he brought us forth by the word of truth, and that we should be a kind of first fruits for his creatures. Know this, my beloved brothers and sisters. Let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger. I need to finish the rest of 19 because there's more to that. For the anger of man does not produce the righteousness of God. Therefore, put away all filthiness and rampant wickedness, and receive with meekness the implanted word, which is able to save your souls. Able to save your souls. Back that up to the first. Count it all joy. Count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds. For you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfast. And let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking nothing. If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives generously to all without reproach, and it will be given to him. But let him ask in faith, with no doubting, for one who doubts is like a wave of the sea that is driven and tossed by the wind. For that person must not suppose that he will receive anything from the Lord. He is double-minded and unstable in all his ways. Man, I don't even know what to say, because we're human. We all feel unstable in all of our ways. That happens. we have to put our faith in God. And that's what I'm telling myself today. If you're listening, wonderful. My bitterness and angerness towards this situation that I am in, thinking and praying and hoping that Lord put me in the right situation where I am. He moved me here maybe just to get me out of Illinois, right? Here's your house, get out of Illinois, and then we're going to make you go somewhere else. And maybe that's what it is. So maybe there's a journey you're on right now, right? Right now where you thought God took you in one and now he's pivoting you in another direction. Just to get you there to maybe cleanse you, change your mind, fix some things in you and move you forward. So those trials that I'm facing, that you may be facing, you probably are, everyone has trials, but I know that I'm facing, I have to remember he is doing this to complete me, to finish me, to move me for his work and what I have been called to do, which I don't know yet. I thought, every day when I was in my church, every time I'm in my church production, I'm enjoying it, but I'm like, this just feels like I'm here. It just feels like I'm here. I don't feel like I am in it. And I think that's maybe where I need to be. In it. In it. Are you in it? I hope so. Guys, that's the word for the day. My name's Christian Israel. This is the New Creation section. We are here. You are here. Like, subscribe, do the social media thing. I'll see you guys next time. I truly, truly appreciate you. Let's go ahead and call this the section. Let's get out of here. This is my favorite part of the podcast. Thanks for hanging out. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, then you are a new creation. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Please make sure you like, subscribe, share this video, subscribe to this channel, and do the thing that people do on social media. At Twitter, at TikTok, New Creation Capital. Let us know, guys. Thanks so much. I hope you guys have a great day. Later, guys.